There we go. We'll put it up here so everybody can say hi to YouTube if I do decide to put this on YouTube. Hi, YouTube. There you go. Okay. Everybody, welcome. This is a 35-minute presentation in total. There's definitely a little bit of filler stuff across the board. For example, the first 2 minutes, they do a countdown, which is kind of some nice little background scenes. I feel like there's really no point to go into these. Sean and John. Oh, nice. Yeah, get the copy pastas in there. Do it up. Is audio coming through here? That's just a little bit quiet. So yeah, we get some nice kind of just background scenes. I feel like there's really not too much to dive into here. If you want to kind of just see more, it does look like these are like gameplay, you know, free cam scenes. So worth looking at if you kind of want to see the map. Some of them do look kind of cool, but again, I feel like it's not too much to cover here in detail. But I mean, it does look good. You know, if you just look at this scene alone, you know, nice big city in the background, tons of elevation, good paved roads, more building over here. Does look nice. Doesn't look like car-friendly terrain. I mean, we'll actually cover that. So yeah, we're gonna be jumping around a lot here. We'll kind of just go, we'll go a little chronologically, I guess. So first things first, everybody know, it's all in-engine footage. In-engine doesn't necessarily mean in-game, but it does mean in-engine, just, you know, skeptic look. And then keep in mind it's alpha build. You will definitely see some lack of polish, I guess you would say. Obviously, the hope is that all that stuff is fixed by release. And, oh, by the way, they don't say this until the very end, but I'm just going to say it now. Early 2024. The rumors were correct. The game is being delayed again. Yeah, it has now been moved to early 2024, which I got to say, guys, I'm actually very happy about. I am very happy because we were going to get this Motorfest and Motorsport like all at the exact same time. I did not want that. Space them out a little bit, please. So now I only have to worry about Motorfest and Motorsport within like the same month and not having to deal with this. But yeah, this was moved to early 2024. Also, somewhat relevant news. KT Racing actually just went on strike. KT Racing actually just went on strike. I haven't caught up on this in the last like 12 hours, so I'm not sure if there's been any advancements on that. But the developers did just go on official strike. So worth keeping an eye out. You know, I'm not going to comment on it because I'm not educated enough on the topic, but worth keeping an eye on that information. Yeah, Rhino could be, I mean, anytime. We don't know. There was a leaked document that I think said like April, May. But anyway, here's kind of your first in-engine stuff. And we do see, by the way, like true gameplay.
Island, where dreams become
just
reality,
after this.
Radiant has created an elite level of luxury lifestyle. Few know of Radiant's ultimate objective. Besides prestige and a love of cars, they value the aspects money simply cannot buy. Automotive excellence is more than the sum of its parts. It provides a feeling, an essence that cannot be captured in mere words. It is an extension of you. Luxury extends beyond mere possessions. The values in forging strong relations with those you encounter on your epic journey. Whether you belong to the sharps or the streets, adapt and improve your style to impress others. Stand out from the crowd. Maximize your potential and represent your faction. Let Hong Kong Island fuel your dreams. Earn the respect of races and realize your potential to take the ultimate prize of the Solar Crown. All
right, so that was your like first little bit right there. Now, of course, that's far from all we get. This is like a 30-minute thing. We're going to get into a lot of gameplay stuff. There's Black Panther, by the way. Well, hold on. This is not Black Panther. All right, doesn't want to... Guys, this is Black Panther. But yeah, that was kind of our first look at it during the live stream. I don't know why... Can YouTube, man. There we go.
Strong relations with those.
So let's turn the audio down here. Yeah, first impressions here. I definitely had some things I liked and things I didn't like. I will say, I think across the board, I'm really liking a lot of the map design. Really liking a lot of the map design. This feels, I know John's in chat here. This almost feels like they're intentionally trying to cater to like the no hezzy SRP crew with like the dodging traffic and like, you know, kind of a lit modern tunnel with a highway. That was literally my first thought, was like, oh, they're trying to do like an SRP thing. Yeah, it's very much no hezzy style. Which, you know, I'll be honest, again, for a more arcade focused game, I'm liking the traffic density. That, generally speaking, if you want to actually compare, like, yeah, SRP is much better for me because like it actually lets you go fast and you're not just driving on the shoulder the whole time. But from an arcade perspective, I like the traffic density. One thing I don't like about Horizon is that there's like no traffic, and it makes the world feel much more empty. The Horizon 5's world just feels so empty to me, man. So this, just even with like more cars, is like a step up. It's absolutely a step up. So that was kind of the first thing I noticed, was I liked that. What I don't like is I don't know why every game these days has to focus on like the stunts and like the taking on-road cars off-road kind of thing. I feel like I'm totally not the only one who feels this. Hold on, I'm going to adjust my camera because it's like 2 pixels out. There we go. But I never liked this about Horizon, about like taking these multi-million-dollar, I mean, Corvette's not a multi-million-dollar car, but these very expensive cars and just like off-roading them and jumping them. And I'm okay with it if some games do it. Like, obviously in an arcade setting, like jumps and taking sports cars off-road, like it's a video game. I get it. But I just don't, like I was hoping TDU would not do it. Horizon already does it. Need for Speed already does it. The Crew already does it. And I was kind of hoping that this would, I don't know, this is going to sound snooty, and I don't mean it to, but I was hoping that that TDU would respect car class a little bit more, in the sense that, like, hey, a Raptor and a Corvette are never actually going to be racing together, and why is the Corvette keeping up on these dirt roads when it probably has like street tires on? And it just put 2 cars that make more sense. Like, yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I don't like using Le Mans prototypes off-road, surprisingly. So yeah, I don't know. Like, again, I'm okay with it in the grand scheme of things. I'm just kind of tired of it. I was hoping TDU wouldn't do it. I was hoping TDU would be like, hey, no, your on-road cars are not going to work off-road because they're on-road cars. If you want to, like, now, I've seen rally Bugattis and rally Lamborghinis. They exist, but you got to build them towards that. And this is totally not. Like, this is like a road spec Stingray, C7, whatever. And he's just like, taking it on these very aggressive dirt roads. Not everyone's whistling Diesel. They're not going to do that. So, yeah, ZR1, thank you. But yeah, it's just not my style. It's just not my style. I wish they would separate them a little bit more, because to me, it gives the cars more individuality. I like it much more when a road car is good for road and an off-road car is good for off-road. That's just, I kind of don't like it when like every car can do everything, because it makes the cars feel less unique. And that's kind of my take with it. And that's, again, one of the kind of minor criticisms I have with Horizon is that with Horizon, like, some of the best off-road cars in the game are like ridiculous cars for off-road driving. Ridiculous. Like one of the best, I think, A-class rally cars, isn't it like a Maserati, like a retro Maserati open wheeler? The 8 CTF or something like that, which is like, so yeah, the CLK GTR for I think S2. Yeah. And it's just like, yeah, it's an old Maserati F1 car. Yeah, the Lola is yeah, I don't like that. I don't like that. It just makes it makes it have less value to me. I want rally cars to be good at rally, and I want road cars to be good at road. So I know it probably sounds a little bit snooty. I get it. And again, in the, yeah, BAC mono, yeah, that was great in Horizon 4 in rally, which is just silly. Yeah, great examples across the board. And this immediately tells me that this is another game that's just going to do that. And it's just like, I'm kind of tired of that. I'm just kind of tired of it. Same thing with the stunt thing is like, you know, the Raptor going off jumps. Sure, that's fine. Raptors can do jumps. But, you know, the Corvette doing the jumps and going in the sand, I just, you know, eh. But yeah, that's kind of my main takeaway from this scene. Was like, the environments I'm really liking. The traffic density and like the life and the vibrancy of the world I'm really liking. But I'm not loving just how they're treating the cars, I guess. Yeah. Well, right, Bear. I mean, that's yeah. It would help if the rally cars were actually good, but they usually aren't. Yeah, and I know the jumps, and it appeals to more, you know, the like non-elitists. But yeah, nothing too new. That's a good point, Callum. You know, we've got, you know, pretty normal cars. There wasn't even a C8. It was a C7, a Raptor, a GTR, and was there anything else in there? I think it was just those three. Yeah, which like these are not new exciting cars, which I admit, like, I don't really care. I really don't care too much about that, but yeah, it's weird to pick fairly old cars to showcase. But yeah, super minor thing. John says, small detail, you can see your car on your mirror. I do always like that. Where is that in the gameplay? Is it here? Go to the, I think of where the in-cam is. Right here. Yeah, if that's in-game, I do like that. It's a nice little detail. Shows that the mirror reflections are like real, and not just kind of like a random camera pointed backwards. But yeah, I do like that. It's a nice detail. Good spot, John. I wonder if that's visible anywhere else. Maybe when we jump over the gameplay, the actual gameplay, we'll be able to see that. I do like, you know, interiors look nicely detailed. You see the Raptor for just like a second, man, whatever. But the interiors do look nicely detailed. You see the GTR too. What's there we go. Like, yeah, cool. I'm all right with that. It's a weird thing to point out, but like Need for Speed doesn't do interiors, you know? So it's worth pointing out. Obviously, like Forza does this, the Crew does this fairly well too, but like, you know, it's nice to see a detailed interior, which you would expect from TDU. So yeah, anyway, we'll kind of skip forward here. This is a lot of introductions. You see Alain, I think is his name, like Alain Jarnot. I'm gonna probably butcher that. And then this is Vivian, which is like kind of like an in-game character. And then we get our first actual look at gameplay with pro gamer Alain. Catch up here on chat a little bit. I saw one of the devs actually able to move the camera around in cabin view, which is nice. Hope you can adjust FOV. Yeah, we'll definitely talk about that. We'll definitely get to that. I'm interested in their city environments. Want to learn from it because it's topical, and I respect any game that does them. Yeah, I will say again, for me, across the board, one of the biggest things that I'm really liking about this is the environments. I think it's going to be such a nice shakeup. Horizon has just not done big cities. The biggest city Horizon has ever done is Surfer's Paradise, which is my favorite city in the game. And it pales in comparison to the scope of this city. And like, even if you look at the crew cities are like fairly big, and like Need for Speed Heat or Need for Speed Unbound, like yeah, you know, they're all right. But the scope of the city here looks much better, and I'm really excited for that. It does look really good. Yeah, Unbound's like Chicago. What was it called? Lakeshore. Was not bad. I actually kind of enjoyed it. That was one of my more favorite things, both about Heat and Unbound, where I liked their city environments. But yeah, so this is in game, and it's kind of a cool way to do the UI. You'll see he actually kind of pulls away from it. We actually got concept art of this ages ago. But yeah, he's just like he's in his apartment in the Solar Crown Hotel or whatever. And like, this is his little UI thing. So let's actually spend a minute looking at this real quick. So I see 3 different ranking systems, and we'll maybe find out more about this as it goes on. Map is probably the best selling point here. So far, that 100% is what it is for me. So, and by the way, I'll remove myself so you guys can see kind of what's going on here. But we'll start here. He's got 4.5 million credits, whatever those are, which is a lot. It looks like Clan Battle, Frim Challenge. For anyone who doesn't know what Frim is, by the way, Frim is a thing from TDU 1 and 2. I cannot remember what it's a can't remember what it stands for, but it's basically like the Forza skill point system, where there's kind of this thing where like you do skills in the open world and then you can bank them for money. There you go. Free ride, instant money. Thank you, Stringless. Yeah, Forza racing in motorsport. But yeah, it's like a skill point thing where you rack up skill points, and then there's kind of we'll see it later. But yeah, there's this system where you can just bank it for money, or you can like go for higher multipliers and stuff like that. So that's what Frim is. In a Frim challenge clan battle, you need to win as many Frim as possible, Frim credits as possible, to take your clan to victory. So it looks like there's, one of the big things they're pushing is like the Sharps versus Streets thing. And we'll see again more of this later, but it looks like there's kind of a weekly battle, 6th of June to 12th of June. Kind of like a weekly battle for which team can gain the most Frim. And I'm guessing that's kind of just like a global thing. Like whenever you're in-game banking Frim credits, that kind of contributes to your team. Yeah, Total Team Wars copy. Sue them. But yeah, and I like this. I like in-game events. I like, kind of that passive stuff where there is a little bit of back and forth, like battling between, the Streets and the Sharps. Like if they lean into this, I think there's some cool mechanic possibility there. And I like the concept of, a lot of MMOs do this and stuff. I do like the concept of like doing stuff for your team and like having a big goal to shoot for, and feeling like when you're playing the game, you're like, representing your team, or you're like working towards a goal. So I do like that. I hope they kind of expand on this a little bit. But yeah, the driver cards here, there's like 3 different ranking systems. There's whatever the top one is, where he's unranked. Looks like level 40 reputation, and then level 35 in the Sharps. So my guess, somebody else guessed on this too, and I think I'm with you on that, MX. Going from bottom to top, again, there's 2 clans, Streets versus Sharps. So this, I think we can fairly confidently say, is like your clan level. So he's level 35 in the sharps. And then this is probably, you know, it's just the Solar Crown logo, so it's probably like your overall level of sorts, where he's rank 40. And then, yeah, MX, you said looks like online level. I would guess that that's probably what that is. Yeah, I wouldn't think it would show up. I wouldn't think this is streets, because I think if you can only sign up for one, I wonder if you can change. I wonder if they're going to have a system where you can switch. Like, if I'm very curious how they're going to do that, because that can be done well or done poorly, where it's like, oh, hey, I signed up for the streets, but all my friends are in the sharps and I can't play with them now, kind of thing. Like, I'm curious how they're going to do that. It seems fairly open. What's the red car? Looks like a Lotus Exige is my guess. And I think this is the Apollo Intenza Emotione or something like that. I think you guys in chat can comment on that. But yeah, I'm going to guess this is online level. And then I'm going to remove this. Here you can see there's filler text, but that's obviously weather and then presumably time. So I'm guessing it's 1:50 or it's 12:50 in the morning, depending if you use a 12-hour or 24-hour clock. But yeah, about 1 in the morning is my guess, which would make sense because it's nighttime. And then I'm sure this will, oh, wait, is that a Tesla Roadster? TESLA. LOTUS. It says Lotus on the back. That looks like a U and that looks like an S. The Tesla Roadster is based on the Lotus frame, so it would make sense, but oh, he's just trolling anyway. Oh, an Evora? Is it? I don't know. It's a Lotus something. It's a Lotus something. It's an Evora. There you go. Okay. I can recognize a Lotus, but in between the brands or in between the models, I don't pay too much attention. So there you go, an Evora. Anyway, over on this side, daily challenges, cool. Unbound does this. Complete 3 races for 4,500 credits. Complete 6 races for, again, 4,500 credits. And then reach a speed of 250 kilometers an hour. Cool. Sure. I hope that these are a little bit more interesting, which I would assume, again, guys, alpha build, keep that in mind. I would hope that these are a little bit more interesting than just like complete races, go fast. I'd like some more cool stuff here. But yeah, pop my camera back up. Nothing too much else to focus on here. But I do like, again, that this is like, I love immersive UI design. I'm a huge sucker for that. Like, in Fallout, when your Pip-Boy is actually on your arm and then you pop up your Pip-Boy and like that's when you jump into that. Love me some immersive UI design. So that's very cool. And then you can see kind of a walk around of the apartment that he's in, or the hotel room that he's in. Yeah, Dead Space does it really well with like where your health is like actually on your character. Mwah, I love that stuff. So yeah, he doesn't really spend any time in here. I would love to know if there's more stuff to do here. What I really don't want is for these spaces to just be filler. I want you to be able to do stuff in these hotel spaces. And I can't really tell that he doesn't really show any interactables. You can see now older TDU games, you could change these paintings to your actual in-game photographs. Very much hoping you can do that here. You don't get to see it at all. He doesn't spend any time kind of looking around. I think he just kind of leaves. But I really do hope that we can change these paintings. I'm behind that one, of course. Really hope we can change these. Yeah, Return of the Topless Chauffeur. Yeah, you remember my TDU playthrough. But yeah. So that's that. Yeah, I hope there's actual stuff to do here and it's not just like filler. And then this is the lobby of the Solar Crown. We saw some pictures of this and they kind of talked about it a little bit. And then here you can see some other players. You can also see that it does look like there's some kind of good UI stuff in the background. Let me I scan around here. I know behind the camera are like shops and stuff like that, like clothing shops, if I remember right. Looks like these monitors are the same. You can see an Alpine A110 and a 370 there. Yeah, those monitors are the same. I'm curious what this is. 44.15.1. Presumably that's... I wonder if we get a closer look at that. I can't read that text. It's too bit ratey. Hold on. Oh, there is a 1440. Hey, there we go. Oh, season ends. Oh, interesting. Okay, so it says in the background here, season ends in 44 days, presumably 15 hours. Wait. It almost looks like that says months, but that can't be right. It's got to just be minutes. It's got to just be minutes. So yeah, I'm curious about the seasons, and they're longer than a month. Although again, this totally could just be placeholder. So who knows? But yeah, it looks like they have some post-launch stuff kind of already planned. And yeah, they introduce people. Scan forward here. Oh yeah, you can see it better there. Yeah, that is minutes because it just went down by 1. You see a little bit of the movement. It looks a little bit janky. I don't really care. Again, you know, alpha build, worth saying. But I honestly, if the movement was still this janky, I wouldn't really care. It's a car game. I don't need the movement to like the walking animations to look super smooth. You know, it's cool enough to me that you can just get out of your car and walk around in the first place. I love that in racing games. So yeah, walk around. You can see there is something here. I wonder if that... Oh, that's probably how you change your car. You can see the... what would you call that person? Like the concierge. The concierge right behind me has an icon, and the icon is a car. And I'm assuming this is maybe how you change your car as you get out. Because you can see Camille... Oh no, it actually just switched. So it didn't show car selection. But I'm assuming that's how you do it. I'm assuming that's how you do it. And then you can see a Porsche here. Looks nice. With Alex, dude, I love that Alex got to go to this. And then Black Panther and one of the devs, I believe. One of the devs. Yeah, still, again, no super new cars. I don't super care. New cars, generally speaking, are not like a big deal to me, admittedly, but it is a little bit interesting that they aren't showcasing those. There's Alex. Love it, man. Love it. And then they kind of just jump around here. And yeah, Black Panther's in the GTR. And this is where I started to get a little bummed. Because I will say, I really don't think the handling looks great. It's always tough. Ooh, we'll look at the map here in a second. It's always tough, and we're going to talk about this a lot. It's tough because A, we don't have our hands on it, and B, you know, I don't want this to be a criticism at all of any of these people, but like, they obviously, you know, at Black Panther and Alex have obviously not like been playing the game, so it's not like they're good at it. But both of them obviously know how to play car games. But yeah, it looks much more arcadey than I expected. Looks much more arcadey than I would have expected. Will say, again, aesthetically, loving the world. Loving the world. It just looks nice. This looks like a fun place to be. But yeah, there's a couple spots I want to point out where the handling really makes me a bit concerned. You can see the drivers are in groups of 3. Can't really... well, unless that is a group of 6. Yeah, I don't see any like different logo down here. Yeah, the gas stations, and they actually function. That you'll get to see it a little bit later. Yeah, maybe a fun cruising game, right? Yeah, characters, you see their different levels. You can see if they're in the streets or the sharps with these logos. They're both S's, I just realized. Kind of funny. Oh, and there's car rankings. So you can see kind of like a Forza PI, not that Forza crowned this or anything. But you know, it's familiar to me. So the F-150 Raptor is a C596 car. Can someone go into Forza? Can someone go into Horizon right now and tell me what PI the Ford Raptor is in Horizon? I'm just curious. Maybe someone go on the wiki. Someone Google that for me. I'm very curious, like what the crossover is. We might be able to see this with a couple other cars too. It also does look like there's an instant challenge system again, like you have in Forza. You can see these guys have instant challenge disabled, but the street guy you can hit up on the D-pad. Oh, interesting. Stringless says starts at C559. So like it's pretty close. This is, I know it's going to be hard to see on stream, but this is C596. So the class system might actually be fairly similar between the two. Interesting. But yeah. Yeah, nothing too much more. Okay, let's look at map stuff. All right, that's our first look. Okay, first off, I like the map design. I think this will probably look different during the day, is my guess. I also like more realistic maps in the sense that like it'll be a bit hard to recognize landmarks with a map that looks like this versus a map that like, you know, had the colors and the detail that was actually in the map. So I think I would have, you know, if you're comparing to like TDU1 or TDU2 or Horizon or Unbound, you know, most other open world car games. But it's a stylistic choice and it doesn't really make that big of a difference to me. It's cool enough. And it is kind of in theme with the in-game map here. So I'm okay with it. Oh, did I go too far? Yeah, hold on. It's hard to keep track of my place here a little bit. Okay, we're right past here. So yeah, lots of different icons. Obviously, we can only kind of guess at this stuff. So he set a marker to the street headquarters. They're doing like an open world cruise to the street headquarters. This is obviously a gas station. Actually, maybe we can make kind of better than just a guess here. This is obviously a gas station here. This looks like an open world PR stunt. You'll see these a little bit later. You can see one's actually right next to me right here. And I'm not hiding anything of interest. But yeah, these are like PR stunts, basically. You can see the Black Panther has 2 stars apparently on both of them already. Oh yeah, the GTR is S709. There you go. Guys, what's the GTR in Forza? This looks like a circuit race. This looks like some sort of customization thing, and I'm not curious what this is. I'm kind of curious about these two. This obviously is like mechanical and paint work, but this has a little stopwatch and then like a dash gauge, like a tack or something on there. S1810 for the 2012 Black Edition. Okay. Oh, Mazda, hey, offer some insight if you know what it is. 2017 is 814. Okay. Maybe a speed zone? Well, I think these little electric, these little lightning bolts, I think these are kind of the speed zone things. Yeah, this would make more sense. Yeah, this is totally a time attack. Yeah, if this is a circuit race, then this is totally time attack. Yeah, 100%. You got to think of the icon shape as well. Like gas station, like car maintenance stuff seems to be round. Events are square and open world events are triangle. That's got to be what it is. This, it kind of looks like a GPS thing. 21 months, by the way, from Total Dysfunction. Oh, how time flies. Hey, bringing it back. You love to see it. Total Dysfunction, thank you. 21 months, man. Well on your way to 2 years. Holy cow. Yeah, point-to-point race or a race. Do you guys remember in TDU2? Maybe both of them had this. One of the TDU games, older ones, had races where you had like 5 points to hit, but you could hit them in any order. If I'm remembering right. Or maybe they were like the speed zone ones. Maybe I'm confusing that with the ones where there were like 5 different speed zones. Yeah, maybe speed run. Maybe that's what you guys are talking about. I don't know if that's what this is. This does seem, I mean, it clearly seems reminiscent of like a GPS. That's a speed trap. No, this is not a speed trap, because these are open world speed traps or something like that. But this could be, it could be speed run. I don't think it is. That doesn't look like a speed run event. This looks more like a point to point, like discovery kind of event to me. But obviously, who knows? Total guesstimate. And then yeah, German. I'm guessing these are dealerships. I think that's a fairly safe bet. Is these are just dealerships? You see a kind of looks like an i8. Is that an i8? I mean, it's some BMW. And then just German. So I've got to assume that's just a dealership. I think that's got to be a fairly safe bet. And then we do see Black Panther's kind of blocking it, but he's got his mouse over the street HQ, and there are challengers, an influence level. So that must be that bottom level there. So I'm curious what the challengers are. These like top people in the street HQ, maybe? I don't know. And then you can see we do have Rex. There's dealership. Oh, there you go. Workshops. So yeah, there you go. That's a workshop. Gas station, we already knew. Radiant prizes. I wonder if these are just kind of open world, like caches that you can find, would kind of be my assumption. You can see Chai Wan here is District 8. There's 2 Rex to find here. Yeah, some sort of collectible. Right. Yeah. Anything to really look at here? Turn voice chat. Oh, in-game voice chat. I guess there's that. Which I guess technically like even Forza has that, but it's like never worked or nobody uses it. And then there's a versus thing here too, like right by my camera. I'm curious what that is as well. It has the same shape as the other events. It looks like he doesn't have access to it or can't do it because he's in a group, maybe. Curious what that is too. But yeah, anyway, move on here. I'm guessing maybe these little question marks. Yeah, those are the Radiant prizes. So little collectibles. Yeah, probably some sort of 1v1 or maybe like a limited time, like only streets versus sharps kind of event. And then yeah, you can just kind of see the driving. I'll turn up the audio here. Okay, and this is what I'm gonna say. Again, we're gonna talk about this. The drivers crash so much in this preview, and it makes me nervous. It feels like there's 6 people driving in this total preview, and like all of them are screwing up constantly. And they do kind of make jokes about it, and they're kind of like goofing around, like, oh, haha, I'm gonna pit maneuver you. I think Alex says that at one point. And like sometimes it's intentional, but the drivers are crashing all over the place. Is it because they're bad? No, I do not believe it's because they're bad. I believe it's because the handling is hard. I believe it's because the handling is maybe not super good. So yeah, let's just let this play for a little bit here.
Wait, I'm not your team. We're rushing into each other.
Guys, street. I'm blocking them. Go, 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 go. Go.
Yeah, like look at that. Look at that. So it happens. I get it. But that stuff happens constantly. And it just doesn't look good to me. I feel like it's not a good way to represent the game. Like, John, this is like turn 1 getting off the highway. I know I can't remember what the name is, but it's like that first turn where everyone just crashes like the first time they have to do a turn. It's like that.
I'm blocking them. Go, 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 go.
Like, look at this. This guy goes, Alex goes off the bridge. I didn't even notice that the first time. Hold on, let's frame by frame it. Oh, by the way, quick thing. I do kind of like the racing line. The racing line looks cool. Yeah, I wasn't thinking of Monza T1. I'm thinking of, yes, totally, it's Monza T1. But I was thinking of there's a turn in SRP, like the first turn to get on. But yeah, the racing line, stylistically, very cool. But yeah, you can see here, the raptor is riding the wall. Yes, exactly, Calum. The exit towards Rainbow Bridge is the road I'm thinking of, the turn I'm thinking of. The raptor's like up on the wall. The Corvette, I believe, and then the like Taycan SUV thing crossover. So 4 drivers, all hit the wall. Black Panther, mad props, is the only one not to, it seems like. Yeah, and then you can see Alex getting some airtime. So 4 drivers hit the outside. Black Panther does pretty well, but then because this, whatever this Porsche is, Camille, she spins, he hits him. And Elaine here also runs wide and hits the wall. So was that 5 out of 6 drivers? Yeah. 5 out of 6 drivers hit the outside wall, which is just concerning to me because it shows me that the handling might not be that good. Yeah, a Taycan Cross. There you go. That's what it is. And so there's a big pile up here. Alex is off the road, which is pretty funny. Like what was that? You know, like why did the Raptor just drive into the wall? Like what was that? Why'd he do that? Was he struggling to handle the car? I don't know.
Is it a street strategy to play like that?
Someone trying to knock them off.
Yeah, like that. I guess, yeah. See, like they're trying to hit each other a little bit, which I don't love. Again, though, point, good thing. The traffic density, I'm liking here. I'm liking it. It might be chaotic, as you can see. The driving is very chaotic. But like from a me perspective, personally, I kind of like this traffic density. I kind of like it. It just makes the world feel alive.
Keep your eyes on the road, dear.
I'm coming.
But you can see, yeah, like he's riding the wall. Black Panther just flies. Like the one guy that's... Here's the Frim system working.
Wrong way, Alan. Wrong way.
Handling does feel... It feels heavy and it feels... It feels not snappy. I should say it feels. Obviously, none of us have driven it. It looks like there's really not a lot of weight transfer. You can see the front is like always gripped up, and it's like the rear is all that spins. It looks very arcadey, which is interesting because in early material they were very strict about saying that this was more sim. They even kind of mocked Forza Horizon. I think they specifically called out Forza Horizon and said that this would be more of a sim than Forza Horizon, which I will say just from looks is entirely not the case. Now it's tough to know. Yeah, it looks like they've got traction control and ABS on. There's parking brake and I don't know, whatever that is. Maybe like loss of traction or something. But I will say that the handling does not look... It looks arcadey. It looks very arcadey. Oh, hazards. That's 100%. That's what it is. Yeah, it's the hazards. Yeah, they hit the traffic constantly, by the way. They're having a good time, though, you know. So there you go. You can see, you can cash in your Frim points, or you can keep going to try and get more. And actually, I paused it at a really good time here. This is one of the best things. It's something I tweeted about, and I think everyone's going to love this. Total TDU thing that I think a lot of people were hoping to get back, and it is back. Car control. You can roll windows up and down. You can turn headlights on and off. You can manually do windshield wipers. You can manually do right and left turn signal or hazards. And presumably this is roof control for convertibles and stuff. That's awesome. Again, everything I'm liking about this is like all the cruising features. Like this just looks like a really fun game for cruising. So this is awesome. This is even more than TDU 1 and 2 had. So yeah, this is fantastic. You can see there's also, it's car, social, and communication. I think we get to see the social one in a little bit. But yeah, this is very cool. Love this. Absolutely love this. I wish like Forza had stuff like this. So yeah. All right, John, got it. I heard the convertible animation is smooth. Okay. Yeah, so hold on. Did he just go through a speed zone? Yes. So 100% confirmed. These are speed zones here. Island Eastern Corridor. Got 2 stars out of it. You can see it's both sides of the highway. And then he gets about 300 kilometers an hour. So yeah, there you go. 100%. Those are the kind of PR stunts, if you will. Again, environment's looking good.
Speed.
Is he ahead? Honestly, no, he's catching though. Oh.
I will say the buildings here, again, you know, tough to criticize too much here because, you know, who knows. But like every one of these buildings looks the exact same, and the green on them looks a bit unnatural, but yeah, minor thing. Yep. I paused at the right time. So that's, again, this is another thing where, you know, Black Panther's not bad at video games. I'm not going to say, you know, I don't know his skill level, but he plays video games for a career. So he's not bad. Like, I think no matter what your criticisms of him are, if you have any, no one can say that Black Panther's like bad at video games. Okay? And he like full on. Obviously, he wasn't trying to hit that. He was not trying to hit that. And that's just one of those things that you see in bad handling models where he clearly was trying to not do that. And you can see the car, like he's turned in a little bit of a 4-wheel drift, and he just slams into it real hard. Yeah, and it very much bounced. And you don't see any big damage effects. I will say the damage doesn't look great. I've never been one to care like at all about damage in video games. But if you do care, worth noting, damage doesn't look great here. Like, I'd say Forza damage looks better, and Forza damage isn't good either. But yeah, like, loving the like, lit up boards, very cyberpunky future, you know, Asian, you know, it's in Hong Kong. But yeah, so that I was a little bit nervous about. That was the first thing where I was just like, ugh. You guys are saying, oh, hold on. Saying he was trying to avoid the Mustang. Hold on, let's get a quick peek at it. Give him credit. Again, I'm not trying to criticize Black Panther's driving here. Only trying to criticize the handling model. More than in Forza, later you can see a loose bumper. Okay, all right. We'll see it. Yeah, I think the Porsche, like the trunk I saw bounce a little bit. I went back a little too far, sorry.
Sorry. I didn't know you were on my team.
They're all over the place.
Where are the streets? What are you guys doing? Show me these.
Did I? Wait.
Here, Theo, we'll just
Did I?
quickly pit maneuver.
I think I hit. I must have gone ahead. I went ahead, guys. Sorry. Whatever. We don't need to dissect it. There's more stuff. There's more stuff to look at.
Oh, yes.
But yeah, again, environment's looking good. I will say buildings, at least right now, looking super samey. Every single one of these buildings is the exact same model. Every single one. And I think they maybe just randomized which lights are on. Now, for what it's worth, that might be what it actually looks like. Like, it's worth, like, real places look like that. So that might be just what it actually looks like. It also totally might be placeholder, but just a thing worth pointing out. At least aesthetically, you know, doesn't look too interesting. But again, that could literally be what it looks like in real life. In fact, if we really wanted to, we could go to Google Images and jump on this highway and find out. But I won't bother with that now. If we spend more time with it, we'll mess around. Like, same here, you know, you're not seeing a lot of variety. You're not seeing a lot of variety.
You guys.
That's another thing. So look at this. It's tough to know if it's the camera, but watch Black Panther kind of wiggle the car a little bit. It doesn't look great to me. Yeah, very floaty. I think that's the perfect descriptor. Very floaty. See, yeah, it's just kind of... It just doesn't look tight. It doesn't look like the car is like behaving kind of how it should. But again, it might be, you know, part of the camera. That's one thing, again, I will say. Forza's camera does a very good job of that. But yeah, very floaty. Very floaty.
Where are you taking this?
There's a gas station, by the way, on the right. And then like a shipping dock on the left. Cool. You'll see them do this so much, by the way. Yes, there is cockpit camera lost. Yeah, 100%. They cut away when they're about to hit a car constantly. Oh, shoot. Wait. Oh, that's probably why I messed up the first time. I'm not hitting the frame by frame. I'm hitting the left and right arrow keys. Like, he's totally about to hit this car. And then they cut away. They do that like 10 times. Having samey buildings is normal because they're built in clusters, so it's so annoying. Right, yeah, 100%. Totally it could be real. Totally it could be real. You know, I've been to Russia. I've seen a lot of samey buildings. Like, you know, I totally get it. But yeah, again, that's why I wasn't criticizing it too much, just kind of pointing it out.
On the island. Just my opinion.
We don't get corners, but we do.
Oh my
Another one. Alex hitting it. Was that one is... Yeah, you don't get to see enough of his gameplay on that. It doesn't look like he was really trying to avoid anything, but again, that's like 2 of 5 times someone just, you know, 100+ mile an hour rams into a barrier. So yeah.
Oh my god.
You see a little bit better damage there. You can see the windshield's all cracked up and there's some damage on the bumper. And then this is the street headquarters, so we'll look at this a little bit, where there's going to be a lot of placeholder stuff.
Let's see some of these driving skills.
See if there's really anything to point out here.
I prefer the maps and the
Elaine
GPS.
still showing up. Yeah, you can see his bumpers off a little bit. Yeah, there you go. Okay. Yeah. Hold on. We'll get a quick look at that again, so you guys can see it. You can see the entire rear bumper is accurately off the car, and it's kind of wiggling there. So that's good for people who like a little bit more damage. Looks like there's something there for you. Definitely, you know, we're not talking BeamNG, but I wouldn't expect or want BeamNG level, you know, soft body physics in a game like this. But yeah, I don't know if that can actually fully fall off, but it's certainly something. Yeah, there you go. That's actually a much better kind of look at it there. Before anyone says it, no, the thing that car manufacturers won't let us add damage. Wait. Before anyone says it, no, the thing that car manufacturers won't let us add damage doesn't exist. Kunos said so. Kunos said that car manufacturers don't have restrictions on that stuff. Because I will say, personally, I've heard different. I will say personally, I've absolutely heard different. Kunos develops Assetto Corsa. So, you know, interesting. I will say I have heard from other developers in private conversations that absolutely is a thing. Now, obviously, you know, like I trust Kunos generally, and maybe Kunos was in a different situation, or maybe Kunos was too small at the point for anybody to care. But I will say personally, I've definitely seen some backdoor stuff on licensing, on like how annoying some companies can be with licensing, and definitely like damage and stuff is part of that. So yeah, I think John, exactly, case by case. I think that's really the way to look at it. It's case by case, and that is what it is. Obviously, it's a business agreement. So who knows? Who knows? I know a lot of manufacturers are definitely against it. Could have swear I've seen staff from Turn 10 say no damages in the licensing contracts. Yeah, but you know, it's a thing they can hide behind sometimes. Who knows? Who knows? But yeah. Anyway,
Oh, look who decided to.
up a little bit here. So yeah, this is the other headquarters, or not the other. This is the first one we see. Streets rule.
Might be a new concept.
This I think is hilarious, and it's totally placeholder. But guys, this is so not criticism of the game, but it's really funny. Every single person on this dance floor is the exact same model. And they're all like so evenly spaced, which I also think is funny. That might not be placeholder because it lets you actually like walk in between them. We'll see this later though. Every single person in this club, not even just the dance floor, every person in this club is the same person. It's just really goofy. Interesting thing, I guess, that I didn't kind of pick up on. This is a person you can talk to. Mila Rodriguez. You can chat with her. Okay. I'm wondering if there's going to be some sort of like side mission type of content, or if that's just going to be flavor. Interesting.
Yes,
That's all
it's got a whiff of it. Yeah.
It's Quicksilver switching places several times a second.
No,
Yes.
we don't need. We have neon.
So again, I really hope that these spaces like actually get used. This is kind of an interesting thing. Alex actually points this out a few times. So this is kind of cool that it shows up here. But you can see this is that Frim Challenge battle where the streets are kicking the Sharps' butts. It looks like you have a leaderboard. You have how much time is left in the battle. I like this stuff. I think it's cool. So I hope that they expand on that and it's more than just like a weekly Frim thing.
You know, guys.
The environment looks cool. Yeah, look, every single person is the same dude in like a white t-shirt and like whitewashed jeans. And they're all just vibing. Oh, hold on. I wanted to peek at that real quick here. Probably him just activating a dance emote. Okay, there we go. Oh, it actually scrolls through more things. So when we were driving, we saw car above this. So it was car social communication. And now that we're obviously out of the car, we see social communication emotes. So mute player, report. I love that that's in game. I got to be honest. I know maybe some people don't care about that. But I love that there's a report function right in the game and it's easy to access. I'm cool with that. Send friend requests, cool. Invite to group, leave group, sure, cool. See, does he... Oh, you don't see him pan down. Dang.
So this is called
Yeah, the club has a very strict dress code, yeah. So yeah, you can see there's obviously a dancing emote. They're kind of just goofing off, having fun. Yeah, I'm cool with it. I like stuff like this. Just like lifestyle social stuff. I just hope there's gameplay reasons to interact in this space. And I hope that these aren't just like completely dead. Yeah, look at all the same dudes just kind of just vibing. I love it, man. It's interesting that it still shows what car they're in. At least I saw it with one of the guys. Superfluous and kind of cringe. I don't think it's superfluous. That's the game. Like TDU is a lifestyle game, and it always has been, you know? So for me, I like seeing stuff like this. I want car games to be more than just being in the car. Now this, you know, the cringe comment might be a little more accurate because again, you know, it's a little bit silly, but like it's fun. I don't know. Again, I just hope there's real reasons to be here. Again, like the casino in TDU2. I hope that this space is kind of like TDU2's casino. Yeah, dude was packing. It looks like there's like a bar, so maybe that same like bar drinking game. At least it's dancing at an actual club rather than just after a race. Yeah. Yeah. So yeah, I'm cool with it. I hope they utilize it. I hope that those spaces aren't just like completely unused. And again, here you can see like a doorman with a car icon. So I've got to assume this is how you change cars, which is cool.
No, I had somebody.
Because, yeah, you can see him just kind of jump right there. So here we go. We got to get a pretty decent view of the whole map. We'll maybe spend a little bit of time on this. Looks pretty good. It's a bit tough to say because the map does get more dense as you zoom in, but it does look a little bit less dense than I would have expected. But it still looks really good. It's tough to say. I don't want to, I've only looked at this once, so maybe I'll actually hold judgment on that. As you can see, there's different districts. Like this was District 8. Kind of these chunks look like different districts here. And yeah, kind of the north, again, obviously this is a recreation of a real place. The whole north side is very city focused. And then there's like kind of some clusters down towards the bottom. And then the middle is all mountain and off-road stuff, which it looks like there's tons of good off-road stuff. But again, this is my problem with TDU 1 and 2. There was tons of good road in TDU 1 and 2. But the cars weren't fun to drive. So it wasn't fun to drive those roads. Like, look at these switchbacks. Can you guys see those? I wish I could zoom in. Like, maybe I'll take a picture. I can kind of zoom in on this. There. Now you guys can see that a little bit better. Like, tons of twisties. Twisties there, twisties there, twisties, twisties. There's lots of them. Really tight twisties, more twisties. Like, these roads look great. But if they're not fun to drive on, I don't care. So that still is kind of my big concern here. But anyway, we'll jump. Actually, we can stay on this for a minute. Because I can manipulate this a little bit more freely. Yeah, so where's the Solar Hotel? I'm curious. Oh, right here. So we saw them drive from here over to here, taking mostly the highway in that initial drive. So that initial drive was here to here, which is a decent chunk of the map. Maybe like roughly a quarter. Yeah, you cannot go. It's only Hong Kong Island. Yeah, only Hong Kong Island, as far as we know. I mean, I wouldn't believe that it would be anything different. But yeah, so yeah, I mean, it looks good. We can see, I guess, nothing too crazy new. More dealerships. There's an Italian dealership behind me. There's a British dealership. More of these Versus things. There is a specific Lamborghini one as well. More workshops, more gas stations. Here's a Versus thing that's not locked. Interesting. So these Versus things are locked. You can see these events are locked, and then this one's not. So yeah, I'm curious what those are. Must be, yes. It seems like some one-on-one thing. Nothing too much, actually, to point out here. Happy Valley's the district they're in. Just kind of, if you want to look at the map, this is kind of a good shot to look at the map from. But yeah. Yeah, multiple German. Yeah, no Japanese dealership that you guys saw. Yeah, I was there. Hold on. Let me just scan over to the right side here. So that's the headquarters for the Sharps is right behind me, right here. And they're going to be driving there next, I believe. Off-road dealership, British dealership, German, Ferrari. Yeah, it doesn't look like anything too crazy new here. More good twisties. Great roads, again, up in here. Tons of switchbacks. So, again, I hope the game drives nicely. Is this real scale? Yes. Yeah, like Ami said, they do claim 1-to-1 scale. Same with TDU 1 and 2.
Okay, or left of the map. How far? Oh, really far.
If you wanted to get really picky, we could kind of focus in on these different screens, but I'm not really going to worry about it too much.
We are going across different roads, maybe.
So yeah, I mean, like, the area looks dense enough. Like, you know what I'm going to do? I am going to pop over to the real location, and I'm going to see if these streets line up. I'm going to see how 1-to-1 it actually is. So let me jump over here to private window. Hong Kong Island. Maps. I would expect the highways to line up, but with TDU 1 and 2, the smaller roads usually did not line up. The major stuff did, the minor stuff didn't. How do you turn off the labels? Hold on, I'll jump back here. Can I dark mode this? Yeah, we'll dark mode it. I know there's a way to turn off the labels. Is it down here? I wanted to see it without all the text over it. You know what I'm saying? Recent saved. Is it here? Show sidebar, saved. Bottom left in layers. More. I don't want to see. Maybe if I just do terrain, it'll. No. Maybe that's a Google Earth like app thing. Maybe you can't turn off the edit the map. No. That's not what I want. Whatever. So yeah, this is where we are. Oh, hold on. That's my Twitter. Okay. So we'll line up this little spot here. That little spot right there. Which is presumably right here. So you can see. So, okay, if that's that spot, there's 1, 2, 3, 4 to like the next main road and the turn. And here there's like 1, 2. I only see kind of like 2 main. That's tough though. You know what? We might not be able to do this accurately. Because I do see smaller roads there. You can see like the on-ramps are much thinner. So it might be that there's... Yeah, I'm going to... It doesn't look quite as detailed, but I don't want to make like an official call on that, you know? Because if you zoom in here, it might end up being more detailed. Because if you just do that, then you kind of just see like the 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4. It's tough. I want to say they made a couple sacrifices. I want to say they made a couple sacrifices and slimmed it up a little bit, which is okay. I mean, they don't need to do like everything perfect 1-to-1, but like if you go over here, kind of looking at this space right now, it looks pretty dang close. Like you can see kind of the little double thing there. You can see the little roundabout thing there. You can see the road going there. You can see it kind of coming back. Another little roundabout here, which is right here. You can see the convention center, obviously right there. So it looks maybe not perfect 1-to-1 with every road, but pretty dang close. I want to look at maybe... we'll deal with it later. We'll keep it playing.
Maybe you should make
There we go.
your,
Hey Magnus, what's going on, man?
Yeah, maybe because you know on asphalt.
It can be a race or not, you know.
Okay, I'll see you there.
Interestingly, his car is still damaged. So I wonder if even going into and out of a building does not repair damage, and you have to go to like a gas station or something. Which we'll see the gas stations in a minute, by the way.
You're going off road?
But it is a shortcut.
What?
You're going
It just
off
didn't
road?
work for me then. Oh, and they're ahead of me.
Like that's another thing that again makes me nervous is you see a lot of you see a lot of games have like sim difficulty with arcade handling. Does that make sense? Yeah, IDK man, you're right. We probably should. We're just going to do TDU gameplay analysis. There we go. Okay, it's been updated. You see a lot of games that are like, oh, our game is sim, it's hardcore, where like they really just mean it understeers a lot. And I feel like you kind of see that here. Like,
Oh, and they're ahead of me.
in a sim scenario, should he probably have hit that? Yeah.
Oh, and they're ahead of
But
me.
like, none of it looks quite right.
Worked for me then.
Does that maybe, I don't know, maybe I'm not making sense, but I mean, how fast is he going here?
Worked for me then.
Tops out at like 225. So he's going over 100 miles an hour. What's 220 in miles an hour? If 60 is 100, So he's going like 130-ish, 120, 130. But it's just watching the car.
Oh, no.
Like, he doesn't turn till, yeah, here. He doesn't turn till, like, here, which is why
Oh, no.
it's hard to tell. But it's like, yeah, it still looks... Like, I'm not saying he shouldn't have hit that. In a simulation situation,
You're going off front?
yeah, he should have hit it. But it still feels like he has, like, too much forward momentum, and it kind of just, like, grips up weirdly, and it just doesn't feel like it handles quite right. So it's tough. It's tough to judge any of this stuff when you're not actually the one driving it. Here's more in-cam stuff, by the way. Kind of the first time we're seeing it, like, in-game. Alex driving the C7. Looks nice. Looks great.
I'm in the way back, but oops.
Yeah, it looks like they're driving back on that same road. Again, driving line looks cool. I really like that stylistically. Yeah, Camille and I'm so sorry. I'm not even going to try and pronounce his name. But they go well off there. And this is another thing where it doesn't quite look right. Like, I'm not, you know, obviously it looks like she definitely braked way too late. So that's driver issue. But watch the Raptor. Look at how the Raptor handles in that situation. Very floaty. Very bouncy and floaty. We'll jump back to that. Yeah, and there's no, like, weight transfer. Like, look at how the car still grips up right there. This is, I think, one of the best spots you can kind of get a feel for the handling. Like, what was that, man? What was that? Like, there's no... It just feels very, like, on rails, and you can see he jumps the curb, and the car straightens, which I guess is good, because you can't turn in the air. But then as soon as he hits the ground, it's like, oh, you have grip again, and then the car turns again. Yeah, that just does not look good. That right there looks really not good. So, you know, I don't know. Tough to say.
Yeah, you know what?
Back to Alex's in car here.
Do you want me to show you the road, maybe?
Next level of automotive
You even spell the word sharp.
information and understanding. Unbelievable.
I like the, you know, some destruction in the environment. Looks nice. This is a beautiful area, by the way. Looks very cool.
Yeah?
Come with me.
Where are you?
Focus now.
No, but you're
Guys, I'm ahead of
the
you.
gravel road?
Well, yeah, come with me.
No, I
See, there's a
have
photo
like
mode down here.
Yeah,
Where are you?
Nice little cruise down.
Yeah, this looks gorgeous. You can see his windshield's busted up.
Where are you?
Oh, just managing out.
It's very framey, by the way. That's not on my end or on your end or anything. That the whole thing, for some stupid reason, was captured at 30 FPS, which just makes everything look a little bit worse. So I would have loved to see this at 60. I guess maybe the concern is that it actually does only run at 30 on whatever console they're playing it on. Although, actually, it looked like they were on PCs. Tough to say.
Tunnel.
Whew, almost missed that. Like, that looks okay from a driving perspective, but that, I think, tells you how arcadey the handling is. Watching Black Panther's GTR slide and then kind of just grip back up. It's right after this. He was going quick. And you just the way the car kind of resettles, it just looks very arcadey.
Nice road.
Western District.
Where did
You can see a wreck nearby notification for it.
Nice and slow.
What we got?
I can see you.
No, I'm just about near the Solar Hotel. Where are you guys at?
Wrong. Damage to the car.
Nope. I think that was the same window. I just want to double check. Yeah, same thing. Nothing to look at there. And like that, again, it's tough to tell if it's the camera. But like the braking, just it's like watch him kind of double brake on this. Oh wait, I didn't go back far enough. Sorry. Let's just scroll like here.
Wrong. Damage to the car, but it's okay.
Like, it just feels, I don't know. It's tough to know if that's the camera just being weird and it feels better. I don't know. Well, actually, you can see it. Holy cow, you can see it right there. And that, again, like, a car would actually do that. You know, if you're like slamming on the brakes and letting go, the car's gonna, not porpoise, but the car's gonna do that, but it just feels off. Something about it just feels off. Like I don't know if it's just that they're struggling with the controller. Maybe it's just that they're struggling with the controller, because obviously, if you're driving well, you don't want to be slamming on the brakes. Maybe that's where the weirdness is. Is that they're just kind of struggling with the controller a little bit.
The Solar Hotel. Where are you guys at?
Because obviously you should be braking smoother than that. So maybe it's just they're kind of struggling with new handling, new controller. Like, look at just like, He does it like 5 times. So I don't know. It's tough. Maybe they're just kind of struggling with it.
I'm on a lovely place.
But like, he's all over the place. Black Panther's all over the place. Like, it just...
Excuse me.
Nope. I didn't even notice that. Black Panther's car just, he knocks him off a little bit. The concern here, I guess what I'm getting
Very
at
nice scenic route here.
is that I'm not seeing a lot of good driving. And I don't want to blame them, because I don't think it's the driver's fault. So it's something else.
Yes.
Yeah, lifted him right up.
What is this place?
Like, even, you know, even right there, Black Panther, you see him, he turns in too early, because he probably expects the car to have some, like, weight transfer and not have that much grip. You know?
Where am I? Where I am?
Like, I bet he didn't try to do that. Now, who knows, but
You know what? I might
it's just, it's
have
little
to,
stuff like that.
Nice.
So this is the Sharps
Before us.
headquarters right here,
Turn on the sharp superior skill.
where it's all fancy. Probably won't, we might skip through this a little bit. There you can see a little bit of the damage, a little bit better. Hold on.
Okay. Makes it to
This
base.
hurricane.
A little bit of damage, just a scratch, it's no problem.
Yeah, that looks very like Forza damage, where it's just
Let me get this right.
it's just a texture kind of layered on top of the car. Oh well, here we'll stay on this a little bit more. I agree, quickness. I agree fully.
You know what you should do, Theo?
To me,
Just
there is
throw the
not
wipers
a
and shut
game
up on the
out there
chairs.
that has better arcadey handling than Horizon, like by a mile.
On your way?
Like even there, like they're just, it just seems like they're struggling. You know? And like granted, yeah, he's kind of turning late.
On your way?
I mean, maybe they're just distracted because they're like trying to host a show and chat and like be entertaining. You know? Maybe it's just that. Like, it's so tough to really figure out what's going on here, because obviously we're not the ones playing it.
I'm lost, guys.
Oh, I beat the game director.
The nice little 360 whip.
Was I king?
Nearly there. This is the shortcut. This is the shortcut.
And like again, why should go off road? I don't know. I just can't tell if they're just distracted or what.
Man, I'm probably on one of the most beautiful roads in Hong Kong.
Yeah, Horizon 5 is not complete arcade. Not at all. This is actually probably a really good spot to focus on. No, Horizon, I would say, is like, to me, Horizon is the perfect simcade. And I know everyone kind of has different definitions of that, but to me, you know, some people will call like Motorsport or Gran Turismo simcade. I think of Gran Turismo and Motorsport as like sim light. You know, like they're sims, but they're just, you know, they kind of just, they soften it just a little bit. But like it's a largely quite realistic experience. Whereas obviously in Horizon, like Horizon is to me the perfect simcade. It's half arcade, it's half sim. Like the handling model is simulating a lot of stuff that the real world would be simulating, and it's doing it all quite accurately. But yeah, like Comics is saying, yeah, on the podcast we called it better than real life. It's how you wish cars drove. It's how cars drive, just better. Like that's what Horizon is. And that's why I think Horizon is like the perfect simcade, is like, it's not arcade because there's a lot of somewhat realistic stuff there. And like, I would argue that even in a game like Horizon, it does teach you a lot of pretty realistic mechanics. And like the drift handling in Horizon 5 is incredible for what it is, you know? Like it's not the most realistic. It's not like a Assetto Corsa drifting with good mods, but like there's no better drifting game out there when it comes to the control you have over the car, how somewhat realistic it is, and how easy it is, like on controller. Horizon has nailed it, man. And it's just it sucks because it's like once you've tried it, it's so hard to go back to anything else. Dude, even Horizon 1 quickness. Horizon has always had, I mean, they've refined it over the years, but Horizon has just nailed it. And that's like absolutely what carries them to me. And I was definitely hoping this would be good. And we've got, you know, he's doing some twisties. You can see he kind of kicks the rear end a little bit out. Like it looks like Alex is actually potentially driving the best out of anybody here. But you can see he does, again, I think they're just getting surprised by the amount of grip and the lack of weight transfer. Like you watch him, you know, he loses it a little bit here, and then he turns in, but he ends up having to straighten because the car just starts pointing that way. You know, like, and then he straightens out and goes over the curb, and so he kind of mucks it up a little bit. And again, not Alex's fault at all, but you just kind of see, I think the drivers, there's just too much grip and not enough weight transfer. Traction control is mega. Yeah, I mean, maybe it is. Maybe it's just that the assists are very strong. Who knows? Who knows?
Do you have some chamallow?
Did a bunch of test driving in the WRC games. Those cars always felt very grippy too. See, that's actually, interestingly enough, the newer WRC games have felt better to me. Excuse me. Have felt better to me, and I felt like they were starting to get a grip on it. So I had some hopes for this one, that it would look good. By the way, this environment looks phenomenal. Look at this. Like by the way, he's doing twisties. I know we've already played this 5 times, but he's doing the twisties. He's kind of in like a little back road area, and then he just like dives right into the city. And I love it. Like again, the environments look so good. Like nice density too. Like there's a lot of detail to look at here with all the shops, the variety of parked cars. Yeah, like if you just look at this scene looks great to me. Yeah, back alleyway. Yeah, it looks good. Just lots of visual eye candy. It's very pleasing. It looks like a real city. You know, it looks like a real city. Now, unfortunately, I don't see any people walking around. That's always a big one to me. I like seeing people walking around. And I don't know if that's going to be the case here. And that does always bum me out. Like right there was kind of another handling thing you could point at. Like she kind of struggles to dodge that car, you know? Again, dude, Alex is getting the good gameplay for us. How is drifting in TDU2? Bad. Yeah. The handling across the board was bad in TDU2. TDU has never had great handling, if you ask me.
I have to.
Yeah, great environments. Like, it just looks fun to explore. Just looks fun to explore. I hope this game has mod support, which it won't. But I hope people make handling mods for this. Elaine, you know, going up on destructible environments. There you go.
Classy when it's classy, not when it's not.
Hey, thank you, Magnus. I appreciate that.
Good. It's good to see. Lovely.
Like, that looked okay. You know, get a little bit of controlled oversteer. Like, it's just tough to tell if it's gonna, like, it's so tough to tell if this is going to feel good to drive. There's another head-on crash, which, by the way, the lighting looked this is gonna be a weird thing to point on. The lighting looked really nice there. Like, right there. Ah. That looked really nice. The reflections off the lighting at the top looks good. I like that. You get a nice little shot of the damage here. Very crumply bumpers. Looks nice. But yeah, again, like he struggles. Like in Forza, I feel like you'd have the ability to kind of dodge that a little bit better. It just feels like their reactions are super late. I don't know, maybe that's it? Like, no one's reacting in time, and I can't tell if that's... Like, he doesn't adjust. He just heads right into that car. So, I don't know. Yeah, the city's super impressive.
Oh, convention center.
It's just so hard to tell if this is, like, what's going on there.
So much.
He's back into it. Yeah, this, again, looks super cool. Like, you're on the coast on the right. Big old city on the left. Huge skyline, like, as far as you can see. Looks great. Like, here's some more variety in the buildings. Looks good. Looks good. Microchip, that's honestly, that could be it. It honestly could just be their setup. Yeah, that the TVs just have, like, a ton of latency. Because that would explain a lot. Oh, MX said it, too. Yeah, bad latency to the screen. Yeah, that would 100% explain it. Because a lot of them are driving, like, they're on, like, a 1/10 of a second or more of latency. You know? Maybe that is what it is. Because that, I don't know. I just want to see someone drive well. And again, totally not a criticism of them. Oh, hold on. Here, let me... Okay, we have a thing. I can't see the map. Oh, yeah, time attack. There you go. Time attack, clear, at dawn. Race unavailable. Category daily driver. Okay. Performance rating 550 to 600. No authorized car in the garage. Okay, cool. So yeah, 100% these are time attack events. There you go. Mazda called it. And then yeah, we're about to go into a gas station. So here you go. This is another kind of cool thing. You can see gas stations actually have a functional thing in the game. You can hold A to clean and repair the car, which I think is cool. I love that stuff. I love that stuff. Does he actually do it? Yes, he does. Okay. Yeah, that's cool. Again, the reflections look nice. Pretty well detailed across the car there. Lighting looks good. Love that. Love that.
This is something you may not be aware of course. But, I like to think that the challenge is always there.
I'm already bothered.
Foliage looks actually pretty good too. I gotta say.
Alright, I'm finally here.
Yeah, environments, again, like that, the rock face. I know it's a stupid thing to point out, but like, just looks good. Just looks good, man. And I think, I will say, I've already seen criticism about this. Interestingly enough, actually, DJS criticized it. I think some people are gonna look at this, and they're gonna say like, oh, it looks like PS2 graphics, blah, 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 blah. I don't care at all. Like, for me, it's never been about the actual fidelity. It's more about like the art style. Like there's a difference between graphics and art style. And I will say the graphics do look, I don't want to maybe go last gen, but the graphics don't look next gen. I will admit that. You don't see like hyper ray traced reflections, blah, 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 blah. There's definitely some, you know, lack of detail at a distance, and you know, some of it you don't see a lot of like SSAO in a lot of spots, and you know, very detailed shadows and stuff. However, I actually like that. I want that, because I think there's a huge problem in gaming where we're not seeing innovation because people are so focused on their games looking good instead of actually playing better and being bigger. You know? Do you see parallax interiors? Yeah, I'll have to... Yeah, I think you can actually totally see it right there. We'll have to keep an eye out for that. You can, you know what? You can totally tell. Well, no. I don't know. That actually might be fully rendered. But anyway, to me, I'd rather them be able to deliver a more detailed map that's bigger than have it look a little bit shinier and newer. You know, like it's this thing where I remember being a kid and like, okay, maybe like Skyrim is a good example, like the Elder Scrolls games. I remember going and playing Elder Scrolls games, And you saw these Elder Scrolls games where there were these cool cities, like in Oblivion. But the cities, they only had like 10 people in them because that's all they could do. And nowadays, you know, Skyrim, not nowadays, Skyrim's 13 years old at this point, 12. But you're not seeing more, you're just seeing better graphics, is what I'm getting at. Is, you know, the reason Horizon 5's map isn't bigger and stuff like that, or more detailed, is because they focused on presentation instead of content. Maybe that's the best way to say it. I'm kind of fumbling my words a little bit here. Too many games focus on presentation instead of content. And here it looks like they're focusing on content and detail over presentation. And I like that. I'm happy about that. I don't need this to be the most gorgeous, you know, super hyper high poly, hyper accurate ray traced reflections and audio, blah, blah, blah. I don't need that. I just want it to play nice and look nice. And this to me looks nice. Art style and artistic direction is so much more important to me than just raw graphic settings. Raw graphic settings. It just doesn't matter. I don't care. Not every game needs to be friggin', you know, Crisis or whatever. That's bad. That's an outdated reference. But yeah, well, exactly. Yeah. Horizon 5 put too much focus on audio visual fidelity and pushing map size that the content density suffered. Yeah. 100%. 100%. Yeah. Wow. Craze. Yeah. The Order 1886 presentation over content. Yeah. A lot of games are like that, where it looks gorgeous, but there's just nothing there. And this very much looks like a world where there's a lot here. It's just so much the vibe, you know? This looks like a place I want to explore. This looks like a place I want to slow down and look at. And I don't care if it looks hyper realistic. It looks good. It just looks good. So anyway, long tangent about that. But I know some people in the YouTube comments are going to be like, it looks like a PS2 game. Looks so last gen. And it's just like, who cares, man? Who cares?
Maybe we are going out, no?
I think it looks great.
So we'll just wait for everybody to...
Again, you know, so this is like, it's a fancy hotel. This is the opposition to the streets. This is the Sharps. Oh, hold on. Did we finally see an emote menu? Not found, not found. Greeting 1 and dab. Yes! Yes! I love it. Is that all we get? Yeah, dab confirmed, guys. 10 out of 10 game. Digital Foundry will care. I love Digital Foundry for what it's worth. But listen, if the game runs well, then I'm here for it. Again, there's so many things that are so much more important to me than like raw graphical fidelity. If this game runs well and, you know, looks like this, I think this is beautiful. There's lots of like the contrast, the color depth, the art design. It looks really good. The lighting looks good. It's cozy. It's easy to look at. It's not too busy. And yeah, if it runs well, I'm so here for it. But yeah, dab confirmed. Greeting 1 confirmed. But yeah, this is, I think we're not going to see too much new here. We do have another bar, and I'm very curious if that TDU2 mechanic will come back from the casino. Again, you do see pretty janky animations. I don't care. Could just be because it's in alpha. Could also be final, and I wouldn't care. It's a car game. I'm just happy. Who's making this? It is published by Nacon and developed by, is it Kyloton? Clayton? I think it's Kyloton Studios. KT Racing. They've done some recent WRC games. Yeah, same window that we see here. Looks like a leaderboard, time left, nothing new here.
Good enough. So we'll wander off to the VIP area. Elaine and Camille, if you'd like to join me. We'll just leave.
Oh, that was one. Oh, interesting. So I'm very, So we saw these collectibles in the open world. Now I'm actually super curious if all of these are obtained through the walking or if it's like split. Huh. It'd be kind of cool if these were like walking. I guess it'd be cool either way. I wouldn't care. It's interesting, I guess, that you can. I assumed these were car collectibles only. Like you could only get these in the open car world, not while walking around. So yeah, that's kind of interesting that you can find these while walking.
To the bar there, and perhaps when they get good enough, they might become a shark. But,
So when you say good enough, have you actually?
Same screen there.
You know, I mean,
Looks like there's not a lot of interactables. Like it looks like you can't sit down. So it's a very pretty area.
This is the bit you can't get.
Get a nice view here.
Lovely views. This is where the special.
Yeah, I mean I'm cool with that. Looks there's somebody to talk to over there.
Swimming pool as well if you want to cool off. There's a fantastic view.
Looks like you can't get into the pool though, unless maybe that's what that chat window does. Is it lets you get in the pool? I don't know.
It might be me, actually. Oh, yeah, okay.
Out, you know, I'm spotting my
So there, oh, it says everything's free. So sparklings, cocktails, spirits, and juices. It says everything's free. Dang it! I was hoping we'd see a credit cost. I was hoping you could actually buy these. I mean, you might be able to. I don't know. There's also 2 more chattable people, one behind me and then one over there. So yeah, very curious what these lead to. I don't think we see that at all.
The expensive diamond encrusted matte paint job that I have on my car. That is obviously the best.
Take another sip.
Guys, I can't hear that
Diamond
anymore.
dust.
You know,
Diamond dust.
information,
Diamond
you know.
dust, viewers. Only see it.
In this, all showing the streets winning.
Oh, enter garage. There we go. So there's confirmation. Yeah, these concierge people enter garage. I'm curious. I'm curious if there is actually like a 3D rendered garage like we had in TDU 1 and 2. And you can actually walk around and see your cars. We don't really know much about that. I don't think they talked about that in the newsletters. It's a must-have. Yeah, I've got to assume. I would expect that as well. I can't remember if they mentioned it in any of the newsletters. I don't think they did. But I've got to assume that if there's a button here for enter garage, it's going to take you to an in-game space, not just a UI menu. Should be very cool.
We need a target, guys. We need a target. Just seeing you losing all the time, it's not enough. We've got to.
Yeah, right, error macro.
I think the problem is the word challenge.
But things will become
Okay, so now they're getting ready for a
fast
race.
because it is time.
And this race is a mess. I'm glad they did one. But man, it's a mess. I will say this is cool. I guess you could say it's kind of like GTA style, or maybe even a little bit like Need for Speed style. Like Forza doesn't do this. So yeah, 6-player race. Can we see? I think I only see a max of 8. I don't know. I don't think we see this screen in full.
Imagine losing to a Ford Raptor.
In full screen here, but I see waiting for players 6/. And I think that's 8, which makes me a little bit nervous. Yeah, we don't see that window at all. And I actually wouldn't be surprised if 8 was the max size. Especially if you see how tight some of the racing is. Like, it would be chaotic if it was more than 8. But man, I really hope we can do big group stuff here. That's one thing I'm nervous about, is obviously we saw a max like convoy size of, I think just 3, maybe 6. I think they split into 2 convoys of 3. And then a max race size of 8. I don't know. I'd like to see more. Maybe, I don't know. I'd like to see more. But I do like this window. I like that you can see the car by the person. It's cool. Is there betting? I don't see any. Voice chat, view details. Yeah, nobody clicks view details. I don't think there's betting.
I want one. Here we go.
Yeah.
Nice launch.
Oh, hold on. Forza doesn't do this. Can you rev before the race starts?
Streets? Yeah, that's our team. Yeah.
Yes. Yes. Weird thing to comment on, but I'm happy that you can do that. It drives me nuts that in Horizon 5, you don't have control of the car until it says go. And even then, the UI doesn't like pop up for another minute. That drives me crazy. Sorry, I just hit my mic. But yeah, happy that you can do that here. Nice, it's small detail. Yeah, proper countdown, right. It isn't just like, go!
Nice start, but the first turn.
So yeah, here, like, again, you just see them, they're all like understeering super bad. And then Alex gets stuck. Some of the stuff's like not collidable and some of it is.
Okay.
Gets pushed to the back a little bit there.
What is happening, man?
Oh, the Bugattis, one of you guys decided to hurt him.
And went the wrong way.
Sorry, who's winning?
Like, it's... The race is just a mess, man. And it gets much more chaotic. Why is the I think the Raptor wins the whole race, actually. Or, no, he doesn't. He doesn't. Elaine wins the race. Sorry, spoilers, but the Porsche wins, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, the desync, it's definitely noticeable. It's something I would expect to get fixed. I'm not, you know, I noticed it earlier. I noticed it when I was watching it live. Not really something I was going to comment on because I would expect and hope that to get fixed. But yeah, like, look at the racing line here. That's very tight. Which it makes me a little bit nervous. Like, that there's not room for two cars here without somebody running into stuff. So it's very arcadey racing is, I guess, the way you would say it. And like, look at Black Panther struggling to straighten the car. Watch him when it switches to that. Look at him. He's back, forth, back, forth, back, forth. I don't think he's trying to do that. I think he's trying to keep the car straight. It's just, yeah, I think on PCs, yeah, see, they are all on PCs. Unless these are like Xbox dev kits. I don't think they are. I think these are all PCs. And I don't know if that's like it looks like a computer monitor. Yeah, these are computer monitors. So a couple of you guys were saying, you know, maybe it's just a bunch of lag. I don't think it is, because I think they're on PCs with computer monitors. So I don't think there's a bunch of input lag going on, unless there's something else messed up with their setup. So I don't know. No, they're all playing on controller. You can see they all have Nacon controllers. I think they're all wired too. Even a good Bluetooth controller wouldn't have lag. It just, yeah, I don't know.
It's a semi-slick tires.
Yeah, see, they're all on wired controllers. There you go.
It changes everything.
Okay, so you went very far.
No, I'm here.
I'm in a competition.
It's a bit of a weird POV to just like watch all of them. Yeah, there we go.
My own team.
Anything to point? I do like this. I kind of like the
Just knocked me.
the marker there. Yeah, like, man. Like, everyone's crashing. Like, there's Alex, and then he kind of dodges him, but then hits the wall. Like, everyone's just all over. He's struggling. Like, watch, you know, he kind of dips up onto the curb and then slows down a bunch to make the turn without hitting a car. Which, like, for what it's worth, that is fairly realistic. How, like right there, that's maybe a good spot of, like, so here's what I was kind of thinking of earlier, is there's kind of two ways to take it. Like, if you look at Forza, it's the 30 FPS, but we don't know if they're playing at 30 FPS or not. That could just be the video. They might have just uploaded a 30 FPS video. And on top of that, for what it's worth, I've played Forza at 30 FPS, and it plays a hell of a lot better than that. So, we can't say. Yeah, but I mean, I don't know. I don't think it is. We can't say. If you look at a game like Forza, I know people hate the curbs in Forza, especially in the city, but Forza definitely tunes down the curbs, where the curbs are not as aggressive as they'd be in real life. Whereas if you look here, when he goes over this, you can watch the car kind of jump the curb and like Like it stops turning because his front tires are in the air. And from a sim perspective, that's good. But the problem is, if the game wants you to take the curb like that. And that's where I'm like, it feels like they're trying to do sim stuff, which I do like. But then the rest of the game is very arcadey. And I just feel like it might clash. Where there's going to be a lot of situations like this where it's like, do you take the hit? Do you take the hit? Like that's a situation where if the racing line is driving you over the curb, it means the game expects you to drive the curb, and I just don't know if that's necessarily something. You're right, Brainbow. Yeah, half sim, half arcade doesn't equal simcade. I think that's a great way to put it. And I feel like that's kind of what we're seeing, is we're seeing some simulation things, like how the game is handling curbs, and potentially understeer and stuff like that. We're seeing like some simulation things with some arcade things, but they're not blending in the way that they kind of do in Horizon.
You are driving well.
Most of the mistakes can be explained by using a controller where the cars need a wheel. Understeer, BP struggling to straighten the cars from too much left-right input. Yeah, but see, again, then I think that speaks to the controller not being tuned in. Which, again, you know, I will say, if the game handles great on a wheel, yeah, I'll be stoked. But it still speaks to, I think, the fact that the controller support's not good. Because, yeah, you see them, you know, like, you see the handling, like, struggle when they tap steer. Which, again, is, like, what would happen in, like, Assetto Corsa. Like, Assetto Corsa's terrible on a controller. But that doesn't make it a bad game, obviously. But I think the problem with this is that, like, yeah, it needs to be good on controller. And you see them struggling with the brakes and, like, tap braking. You see them struggling with the turn-in where the car's kind of, they're, like, tap steering and then the car straightens and turns and it throws off the balance. And, yeah, you're seeing a lot of that. So, I don't know, it's tough. It's tough. I know we've spent so much time talking about it. And I do want to be clear, I'm trying to reserve judgment here. Like, I'm not really just, like, shit-talking the controller or the handling yet, because I haven't driven it. And it's so hard to know. It's just so hard to know. But it's the thing that's most important to me, so I'm really focusing in on it. And it's easier to focus in on the bad things you notice instead of the good things you notice sometimes. Even though the curb thing's kind of a 50-50. So I know it seems like I'm, you know, I know it seems like I'm like just talking so much crap about the physics. I don't know yet. I just don't know.
You are driving well.
Anyway, they do have a lot of assists on. Yeah, you can see they're driving with ABS and traction control.
You're in our sight.
You can see that in the UI.
Oh, sorry, bro.
It's good.
Like here, I don't know that. Like that makes me nervous. Like look how much grip the front has. Like obviously he wasn't trying to spin out.
I cut you.
It just. I would have loved to see him like nail that corner, and it's so hard to know where the fault is there. Is that because Alex is just struggling with the game? It's because of the physics? Is it because there's some sort of lag? Like what's going on that led to that?
I cut you, bro.
Yeah, he hit the handbrake, but he hit the handbrake while like pretty much going straight. You can watch it. He taps it once. And then the car does like a full spin. And that's something that I hate about Need for Speed. Is in Need for Speed, the handbrake is like a god brake. And it just, it doesn't brake the rear tire traction. It like just, like it slams you down in speed. So, like that just, the momentum looked all wrong there. You know? Like he still had so much front grip and it just didn't, it just wasn't right. It just wasn't right. Does that in Forza too? I mean, more so than real life, but definitely not like this. Forza's handbrake is much better than like Need for Speed or potentially this.
It's good.
Like he just taps it.
Oh, sorry.
Again, while going straight. So, I don't know.
Just actually. No.
Can you have Camille? I'll let you pass.
Like that looked really good. Look at how the Raptor handled that corner.
Can you have Camille? I'll let you
And the suspension. That looked pretty cool, actually. Hi, honey. How you doing? Would you like to come critique the trailer too? Okay, I'll see you in a little bit. I love you. I just heard, like, I don't know if you guys heard that on stream, but I heard her like, ah, right outside the door. Oh, what a freaking cutie, man. I love her so much. Yeah, a little cameo from the baby.
No.
Oh, man. But yeah, like the suspension looked really good on that. Am I blocking that? Hold on. Let me do it again here.
No.
Can you have Camille? I'll let you pass.
Like that looked really nice. That looked really nice. I don't know.
Can you have Camille? I'll let you pass.
I mean, obviously, like in real life, he would have crashed if he hit a barrier like half the height of the wheel. But I will say, like, that suspension action looked really good. So, I don't know, man. It's so weird. Like, there's some things that I think I just have to hold my judgment. I think I just have to hold my judgment until some of us get our hands on it or we see more gameplay. Like, I'm starting to think it is just some unrealistic, like some disconnect that's going on. Some issue with either they're distracted or there's some latency or yeah, I don't know, because there's glimmers of things that do look good. But again, the driving, everyone's driving like a total mess. So it's just tough to criticize. It's tough to point out one way or the other because it's just not it's tough to see. Like everyone's missing corners. Elaine missed a corner. Alex had to stop. Wait, the beta's later this month? Holy cow. Okay. Well then, yeah, we will get to see. Some of us. Hopefully me.
No, it's nearly missing a gate in the wrong way.
And see the other side of the Porsche bumper fell off this time, so it's at least, you know, a little bit different, a little bit more dynamic. Considering Black Panther's there, we can understand why one of them is driving poorly.
Oh, again, the sharps. I win and they show how it's done. You know, I'm going to wait for you guys. I know one day you'll get here.
Yeah, and then I think
I wasn't that far behind. Come on.
that's pretty much it. That's pretty much it. You can wishlist it on Steam if you want. Has anyone looked at the Steam page and seen if there's maybe anything new on the Steam page? Well, let me jump over and just double check. Maybe they got like system specs or something up on the Steam page by now. Let's jump over to it here. I've had it wishlisted for ages. Over to it here. Yeah. It's all TBD. Single player MMO, full controller support. Yeah, nothing new here. Nothing new. But yeah, that's that. That's that. I think I'm so glad we finally got to see gameplay. It's been way too long. Oh, and by the way, we said this at the beginning of the stream, but
Crown has ended, and our first race found its.
I don't know. I don't want to scroll down. Early 2024. The game has been moved to early 2024, which again, I'm actually kind of just happy about. Spread them out. I don't need 3 big racing games in like a month. so totally happy. Although if the beta is their website working. Their website wasn't working earlier. Test Drive Unlimited. Yeah, here we go. Turn off. Okay. Decline all. Still running a little slow, maybe. Is there anything new on their website? This is the same thing they've had for a while. Yeah. Okay, nothing crazy here new. Where's info on the beta? One of you guys said beta's next month. Where did they say that? Is it in the Discord? Maybe it's in their Discord? I don't know. Beta was mentioned in a, I don't even know how to pronounce that. The whatever that website is, traction.gg. Let's see. Oh, here we go. Here's the article. Closed beta for Test Drive Unlimited Solar Crown starts 24th of July. Initially, number of players limited. First test will only last for 3 days. During the gameplay, it was announced. Oh, wait. Oh, maybe it was later in the presentation. Maybe it was. I know they mentioned it.
Opening the doors to regarding Test Drive Unlimited to not miss anything and to get your chance to actually test it.com and make sure to sign up for that newsletter to not miss anything and to get your chance to actually take part at the playtest. And of course, follow our socials, follow everything regarding Test Drive Unlimited.
They don't say when it is.
Especially putting it on your wish list to make sure to not miss anything. And I hope to see you there early 2024.
Yeah, I heard all of that stuff the first time around. It wasn't like here, was it? No. Yeah, weird. I mean, I'm sure these guys probably have some extra information, but I don't see where this was publicly revealed. But yeah, 3 days starting on the 24th. So that's like not even 2 weeks away, right? Yeah, July 24th. That's crazy. Comes alongside 2024. Something Acquire hopeful players to subscribe. Okay, I've been subscribed to the newsletter for ages. Okay. Yeah, I would, if anybody has an official source for that, I would love to see it. I would certainly love to see it. But obviously, you know, whatever. It might just be that Traction has that information, and that was not publicly revealed yet. But yeah, overall, I'm glad we saw gameplay. I think the environments look really fun. I think I skipped too far. If someone finds a timestamp, let me know. Because I watched all of this live, and I don't remember them. Yeah, they mentioned the beta. We just showed it, but they didn't mention, at least I didn't notice them mentioning the dates or how many days. So maybe I did miss it because maybe I like got up during this part or anything like that. But yeah, if someone finds a timestamp, yeah, Comic says the date was not in the video. I don't think it was either. Yeah, website getting the hug of death, right? Yeah. Anyway, overall final thoughts. There's certainly a lot I like. The map looks really fun to drive through, or really fun to explore. The map looks really fun to explore. I'm just excited to have something that has this level of variety to it. I'm kind of trying to jump around to find when they're in the map. I love the big city, modern metropolitan vibe, mixed in with like, you know, kind of jungly, beachy. Like it's a cool pick. Yeah, with like these, you know, toge roads in the background. I think it's going to be a very pretty map, and it's going to be very fun to explore. 3218. Here we go.
But yeah, other than that, I had fun.
Yeah.
I still think Streets are, you know, superior with the 75% on the big screen.
Oh, that's hold on, that's 31. All right.
Gotta catch up.
I look forward to have the feedbacks of the community and just to hear them enjoy the game.
Yes, Camille, speaking of actually playing the game, it will soon be time to let our players enjoy the game. So the beta is almost about to start, guys. So head over to testdriveunlimited.com and make sure to sign up for that newsletter.
Yeah, we already saw that. We're fine. Yeah, so it doesn't
to not
give
miss
you dates or anything.
And to get your chance to actually take part.
Yeah, it doesn't give you dates or anything. Okay, so yeah, really the only thing here, the only takeaway that I'm kind of nervous about is the handling, which again is so important to me. And it's just kind of hard to say. Again, I know throughout the video we spent a lot of time talking about it and I spent a lot of time kind of criticizing it. But I just think it's hard to say. I haven't driven it. And you can definitely get a certain feel from watching gameplay, but you certainly can't, actually feel it out. And I think the concern is that the handling looked okay. Some things I liked, some things I didn't like, but I just didn't really see anybody driving well. And I think that's maybe the big problem, is that this was maybe not the best format to showcase that, because I'm sure all these guys, Black Panther and Alex have not had experience with the game. They're brand new to the game. And, sometimes the devs don't play the game a lot. They're busy working on it. And that's not a criticism. It's just how it is. They might not be gods at the game because it's just their job. So I think it maybe would have been nicer to see some gameplay from someone who's more experienced and who isn't like crashing constantly. I would have liked to see someone like do a race cleanly without like hitting traffic, without hitting barriers, without taking good racing lines. I would have liked to see that. And instead we just saw a lot of this. And again, totally not a criticism of them. It's just, I don't know, man. It's hard to say. But I'm definitely going to try my best to get into the beta. No doubt about that. But yeah, World looked awesome. I love the interactable menu with the cars where you can do signals and windows and stuff like that. That's always super good. What else? I like the Streets versus Sharps kind of mentality of, kind of Horde versus Alliance WoW Guild stuff. Like the detailed interiors and that there is a car cam, or is a in-car cam, sorry. Yeah, we have no idea. I don't think we have any idea how many cars they're going to have. I know this is really messy with chat on screen there. I don't think we have any idea how many cars they're going to have. I mean, we've seen a handful of brands, like some of the first trailers showed off like Aston Martin and Land Rover and, other ones like that, but we really haven't seen a car list at all. TDU 1 and 2 had, roughly like 100 cars? Roughly 100, I want to say. I want to say like TDU 2 had maybe 120 tops. Bye, honey. Love you. Sorry, wife's heading out. Yeah, somebody else can comment in on that if they want to. But yeah, I don't know. I'm okay with a smaller car list. They also didn't really show off any like customization. Which we know a little bit about. They did talk a bit about it in one of the newsletters. But we really haven't seen it too much. Like, what can you do to that GTR, So yeah, I just, there's a lot left that I still have a lot of questions. I still have a lot of questions is I guess the main takeaway. I'm happy it's being moved to 2024. Take their time, whatever. Get it away from Motorfest and Motorsport. 100%. I mean, I'm gonna play it. This definitely didn't turn me off the game. That's for sure. I'm definitely more interested to try it out now. But I think a lot of it is just because I just want to know how it feels. I just want to know how it handles, because this just did not give me a good idea of that. Look at him just yeeting the GTR. I love that. But yeah, I mean, even if, I will say, at least for me, even if the game does handle poorly, I think it's still going to just be a fun game to kind of cruise around in and just explore, because it's going to be a pretty well-detailed, fun world to just go around in. Is it? Yeah, the first map of TDU1 is Oahu, island on Hawaii. And then the second map is Ibiza, and then you end up going back to Oahu. So the second map is 1-to-1 Ibiza and 1-to-1 Oahu. And then, yes, this is Hong Kong Island, correct. Yeah, graphically, I want to be careful with that because we had a whole conversation about it. Aesthetically, it looks very good to me. It looks like a place I want to be in. You know? It looks like an environment I want to explore. Daytime looks bad? I don't think so. I think I think it looks good. I think the game across the board looks good. Yeah, I don't know. I think one of the things that might, like this especially, looks gorgeous to me. Yeah, foliage looks great. Like, again, this, I don't know, I love this, man. I'm very excited to just experience this world. And it's always cool to me when it is actually a real place, you know? I always think that's neat. Because it feels like you're exploring a real place, because you are. But yeah, it's just big. Still, I have a lot of question marks, I guess. Still, I have a lot of question marks, but the map looks good. The map looks good, and I really don't want to give a verdict on the handling, because you just can't. You just can't. Car models look a bit strange. I don't know. They look fine. And it's important to note also that you're watching like a stream of a stream of a stream of a stream. So keep that in mind when you're talking about, you know, how the game looks. You know, obviously you can still tell a lot. But yeah, just keep in mind, like, this whole thing's getting bit rated to all heck. So there is going to be some color depth and some contrast lost and some sharpness and some detail that you're just not seeing. But yeah, I don't know. The models, like the reflections on the Corvette, look really nice right there. Yeah, I don't know. What any other comments before we kind of wrap this one up? Any other points that you guys wanted to talk about? Oh, I just saw something. 87.7 kilometers. Let me see if that goes up. I see his car again. 55.7. Hey, the cars have a mileage tracker. That's kind of cool. I like that. I love the little details like that. 100%. That's because he's in the same car, and that seems roughly accurate. So yeah, that's kind of cool. Little mileage marker there. Yep. Had that on TDU. Yeah. I mean, there's a lot of stuff from TDU that I just want them to have back. But unfortunately, my biggest issue with TDU 1 and 2 was the bad handling. So, man, I'm going to be bummed if this is the exact same case where, like, it's an amazing game, but it's just not fun to drive. We'll see. It was a letdown in the moment, but I'm back to middling after detailed discussion. Yeah, I mean, yeah, that's fair. You can see a little bit of the damage there. Again, his trunk, or is that the wing? That's hard to tell. It's like fuzzy in the background. I don't know the car super well. But yeah, kind of bouncing around. Yeah, definitely. I think my opinion like hasn't really changed. Like, I've been in this situation with TDU where it's like I'm very hopeful, but I'm keeping my expectations kind of mid. I don't think it's going to be an awful game. And this is kind of just like driven me further down that path of just like, I still don't think it's going to be awful. I'm keeping my expectations kind of middle while keeping my hopes kind of high. And yeah, I just think I'm like further down the path I've kind of already been down. But yeah, this is kind of our first time seeing the handling. The handling, I will say, it hasn't impressed me. Kind of a point like that. I don't know. I just don't know. You just can't say like, am I going to like that? because I wasn't the one who did that, so it's just so hard to know if that's an experience, if that's something I'm gonna like. But yeah, I don't know, guys. I think that's gonna pretty much do it.